Hello and welcome to The Villain Was Right, the podcast where we look at movies and TV shows from the villain's perspective and dare to ask, were they really all that bad? I'm your host, Craig Fay.
And I'm your host, Rebecca Reeds.
And this week on the podcast, we're finally doing it. This has been on our list forever.
Highly requested.
Highly requested. We are covering Center Stage, and we are joined by Center Stage aficionado, host of I Hate It, But I Love It.
Hell yeah.
And my beautiful and wonderful fiancé.
I love that.
Cat Angus, welcome to the podcast, Cat.
Craig, is it?
Craig. I want to say Cornmo.
I want to say Cornmo. Anytime I'm on the podcast, I'm gonna open with that.
Fair enough.
What the fuck is Cornmo? What is that?
That's from Kimmy Schmidt when her boss can't remember her name and says, "I want to say Cornmo."
Oh, okay, perfect.
And it's become our default.
No, that's
anyway,
great. That's a great poll.
Here are Kat and I just doing inside bits
No, I love it.
off the top of the podcast.
Please continue. I like it.
So it's Center Stage, and Kat, whenever we have a guest on, we always like to ask, like, what's your relationship to this movie? Like, why this movie for this podcast?
I love Center Stage.
Spectacular.
This movie's not good, but it's great.
Yes. Yes. I completely agree.
I have seen this movie so many times. My mom took me to see it in the theater when it came out when I was 16.
Oh.
I have seen it so many times since then. We covered it on our podcast, I Hate It, But I Love It, but for our Patreon, so you got to join the Patreon, people. But this is for sure a movie that wants you to think like, man, the people who run this ballet school are so mean and close-minded. And as an adult, you're like, no, they're not.
No, it's fine.
they're good.
Yeah.
The ending of this movie is so dumb.
It is chef's kiss dumb.
Yes.
Like chef's kiss buttery.
The final dance number doesn't make a lick of sense.
Nope.
In a way that I don't care. I love every
love
moment
it.
of this stupid
Love
movie.
it. Yes. Put it right in my veins. I
And-
put my feet up,
Yeah.
little glass of water. Just have it.
And just Peter Gallagher is there, and I just want to curl up in his eyebrows and fall asleep.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the eyebrow man.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, this was my first time watching this all the way through.
insane. That's insane.
I can't
Craig.
believe I agreed to marry you.
I'm sorry I wasn't a teenage girl in 2000.
How dare you?
But guys, if you, like me, have not seen the cinematic classic that is Center Stage, it's a movie all about ballet. It's about I believe the American Ballet Company
Academy, I believe.
yeah.
Because the American Ballet Company, I think, is a real thing, but this, I think, is the American Ballet Academy.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then my
Wink, wink.
I think I could be wrong.
then
I might be switching those, but
Then my first note of this entire episode is wrong. No, just I had American Ballet Company. Basically, so we sort of follow like some people who have just like newly gotten into this school, and it's like, very competitive, very whatever. So we've got Jody, who's like, arguably the main character.
Yeah.
We've got Eva, played by Zoe Saldana, who is like she's got like a bad attitude, and she's always basically telling people to fuck off. And then like kind of Maureen, who's like the third roommate, who's been in the program a while and is like kind of like destined to be the sort of prima donna and the person that gets picked for everything, and everyone's like, she's a bitch for no reason.
No
anyway,
reason.
So we sort of have like them kind of like going through, and it turns out like, oh, maybe Jody's not as good as she needs to be in this. And so we've got sort of Jonathan Reeves, played by Eyebrows, who's like the head of the school, and he like pulls her aside and is like, listen, you're not progressing at all. You got the wrong body type for it. I'm sorry. It's like you're not like, wow, you're not compensating for this in any other way, right? You're not good on your feet. You don't have that wow factor, and you're like, yeah. And so everyone like hates him for saying that. Meanwhile, Cooper is like, was he a student and is now faculty?
No. He was like a basically one of their star ballerinas and continues to be. But then when Peter Gallagher marries his Cooper's girlfriend,
right,
he like fucked off for a while, and now he's back to be like the star ballerino, I guess. But he's also going to choreograph a number for the final.
Yeah,
number.
fusion dance.
Yeah.
Also, Cooper Cooper, I hate him so much.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
But all this to say, Maureen has a eating disorder. She meets a like pre-med guy or a med student guy and like falls in love and realizes ballet is not for me. Doesn't show up for the final number. Swaps out Eva, played by Zoe, at the last minute, and everyone's like, what the fuck? But she does really good, so everyone like casts her in the company. And Jody gets cast in Cooper. Jody sleeps with Cooper, and then Cooper casts her in the ballet. But she's so good. And then Cooper goes off, and he's like, "I'm gonna start my own company, and you're gonna be my lead." And Jody's like, "Well, then I don't care about this ballet company. Fuck you all." And she goes off with him. Oh, and then she hooks up. She gets together with Charlie. Is that
I
his
just
name?
call him Eyes.
The other guy. The other guy in
Eyes,
this. And there's like some other minor characters doing their thing. There's Maureen's mom who's like pressuring her to be a ballerina and is kind of like catty and weird about it and like talking shit about teenage girls.
Teenage girls. I have some questions about the ages of people in this, but we'll get to it.
And like, so big final number, and it's good and cool, and everyone is happy, and it all works out at the end. Maureen walks away and
goes to
tells her
college.
mom off and goes to college, and there's dancing. There's a lot of dancing.
Roll credits.
Roll credits.
Let's go.
I think I hit most of the main points, right?
Yeah. And anything else we will discuss thoroughly. We're gonna get into it.
So, Kat, who do you think is the intended villain of this movie?
I mean, Peter Gallagher is sort of attempted to be the villain of this, where it's just like, how dare he try to crush Jodie's dreams?
Yep.
Because like, she just loves dance. Why would you tell someone who loves dance that they shouldn't be in dance? And it's like, because she's not any good.
Yeah, and pick a different dance.
Pick a different dance. Pick a different way to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
You don't have to be a ballerina. You could be any other dancer.
And then I guess to another level, Maureen is sort of presented as a villain-ish, or I guess other characters are like, she sucks, but then they show the audience that she doesn't suck so much. But for the most part, I think and then Cooper, but I do believe Cooper is a villain, so I'm not arguing for him.
I might argue for him a little bit.
Okay.
I gotta be honest with you. We could start with Cooper. Okay,
Maureen's
listen.
mom is another one I'd like to throw in there as well.
But Maureen's mom is one I don't really want to do. I'm like, I really hate Maureen's mom.
Yeah.
Okay, she doesn't listen to her the second she's off. She's like, are you on your period? I'm like, do you have a penis? What is happening? What is going on here with this conversation? But Cooper, okay, and I don't like, and I'm going to be very clear, I do not like how Cooper operates at all. Okay, but I've got a couple of, number one, okay, the idea that after you sleep with somebody, you're gonna show up to places they're at is crazy.
Oh,
that's wild.
It's crazy, but also if she's as young as I think she's supposed to be, I get it, because I also was weirdly like.
How old is she supposed to be?
I think she's supposed to be like 18.
Okay.
I think all of these people are supposed to be like in their last year of high school.
Okay. Because I was getting more of because they go out drinking.
Yes.
And nobody talks about IDs or anything like that,
all these
so I
people
always
are
just
like,
assumed like 21.
And maybe that's correct. The movie doesn't really make that clear, but it also really seems like they're like, you could go to college, and I'm like, has she is she just late to go to college, or is it that like
just from like pursuing dance so much, trying to get into this company? Maybe
I'm unclear. If they're supposed to be in high school, the whole Cooper situation is so
no, that's
gross.
crazy. I think because we haven't talked about IDs, they were clearly all hungover. I think I'm gonna just bridge that and go, okay, you're all 21.
Yeah.
See, my thing is that this movie clearly doesn't really care about the logistics of anything, especially if you look at that final number. And so this is a movie that's just like, IDs, schmides, sure, they're pretty looking ballet people. They could just get into a bar.
And maybe, yeah.
Maybe yes. I'm going to say 21 for my arguments.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, are you 21? And they just like bend backwards and touch their toe to their head, and you're like, yeah, I guess that's probably a thing at 21.
And who amongst us, I think Cooper's biggest crime is being cringe. I think he's a very cringy man.
Yes.
And who amongst us has not slept with, well, I'm not going to, okay, and maybe not with this current group of people. With present company excluded. Listeners,
who has not slept with a loser? Craig and Kat, put your hands down.
That's what we liked about each other.
Stop. I love both of you. Stop. Oh my God. I think I was like, the biggest crime of this man is being cringe. Okay. Yes, he made a whole number about his, like, it kept making me think of Euphoria, where she's like, wait, is this fucking play about us? I was like, that's what this whole, like, that whole crew is doing the whole time. It was making me laugh so fucking hard.
Can you imagine being Peter's wife, who like does have a name, Peter? Kathleen Donahue.
There we go.
I thought she was going to be a big thing because they're like, that's Kathleen Donahue. And she walks through the hall and then we do not see her for the rest of the movie. But can you imagine being her and being like, watching a student play, basically the equivalent of a student play written by your ex and performed by students. All about
cringe.
I would be crawling down my own throat. I could not.
This man is absolutely cringe. There's no way. That is his biggest crime, in my opinion.
100%. He's very cringe. The leather pants he wears in the final number are embarrassing.
They're so funny.
And like, okay, so the people who actually dance in this movie are professional ballet dancers. And you can tell which ones are the professional ballet dancers because they're not very good actors.
Yes.
And so he's a very good dancer, but just the fact that they make Cooper dance around in these leather pants is very embarrassing.
So funny.
But then, like, he's not a good enough actor to be charismatic enough to pull any of it off. The one thing I will give him a minor bit of credit for, which is that this dance that he choreographs at the end that is just telling the story of his girlfriend breaking up with him for Peter Gallagher, which is that the end of that dance shows that, like, they both kind of suck and she should just focus on being
shouldn't be with either of them. Yes.
And I'm like, that's a little bit of self-awareness that I wouldn't have thought of him. But that said, also, I don't think the Cooper we've seen for the movie would have come up with that.
No.
It's just that this is a cool dance that they put in the movie.
Yeah.
I was going to hang my hat on that specifically and be like, my main defense of Cooper is that I believe, like, the movie presents that he is of the opinion that his ex should be with neither of them. And I'm like, that's very
mature.
An astute observation, my good man. Okay.
We're bad.
We are always team neither. Okay.
Third option. I will say, though, whatever level of self-awareness he had in that production is immediately negated by the fact that he drove a real motorcycle, gasoline-powered motorcycle, onto stage.
So hard. I laugh so
around
hard.
and around.
Yes.
It's so unnecessary.
So funny.
You cannot.
Unnecessary to what? It's necessary to my life. Okay? It's so fucking funny.
There is a stage manager there being like, there are rules about running engines in the theater. There's carbon monoxide problems.
Yeah.
We need to, this is a fucking ballet studio.
I don't care what old lady you're banging. We don't have the insurance.
No,
okay, we don't have
none whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like you are driving a half-ton machine around the internal combustion machine around the stage where there are people doing dances and whose feet are insured for like millions of dollars. It's like give me a run over people's toes vehicle. A more run over people's toes vehicle than a motorcycle, and you can't. Maybe a golf cart. I don't know.
Vacuum?
But I don't think a vacuum's heavy enough to do damage.
Sure.
Yeah.
So funny.
No, it
was necessary to my life. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, this man is putting cringe on top of cringe on top of. I love that all of the solutions in the early 2000s were like, what if we mixed this with this? It's a new thing. It's revolutionary. Everyone's going to get excited about it. It's always the
This isn't your grandma's ballet.
Yeah, it's just always, we're just going to
ballet for the people
it.
Is what the.
Have you ever gone back and watched the Save the Last Dance?
Oh, it's so funny.
It is so unbelievably bad. It's so funny.
To the point that Julia Stiles went on SNL within the last year to make fun of how bad the dance is.
Good. Good for her. Okay, because
More self-awareness than Cooper.
because that's really, and I would say this dance is definitely much better than that.
Yes.
Okay, but it's giving the same thing where it's like we're gonna go outside of the box on this.
I drove a motorcycle on stage, so you know I don't give a fuck. I don't care about your rules, man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Now, Jodie is cast as the lead in Cooper's ballet.
Yes.
Even though she has been quite obviously been told she's the worst ballet dancer at the school all year, but she, I guess, slept with Cooper, and he's like, I don't like her, but maybe I could fuck her again. Could you imagine being one of the other students at the school who has been performing way better than her all year, and you get cast to walk in the background of this number, not even really doing ballet, just sort of ballet walking, while Jodie gets to do some cool stuff?
Absolutely.
I would be so mad.
Even Eva, who is like naturally talented and kind of like, sidelined because of her attitude, I don't think she was the understudy for that part.
No, yeah.
So it's like, if you're the understudy and you're out there and you're like, this motherfucker, like the whole time you're just doing arms trying to like hold your face together.
Sorry, I was wondering what Rebecca was doing. The people who can't see this,
ballet.
She's like, no, but
it's not
okay, I know
ballet.
it's ballet now, but you're just like literally put your hands beside your face and started like moving them around, and I was like, is this a new level of rage for Rebecca?
It's fusion ballet.
She's voguing in ballet.
Yeah,
the only way I know how.
Yeah, you're right. The understudy got fucked over.
There's no way. There's no way it was her.
Also, you know who else got fucked over? Eric? So Eric's originally cast in Cooper's musical, and then he in rehearsal like tears a ligament or something, or like he's out, he can't dance, and Cooper's like, no, I will take over. The understudy isn't good enough. And someone's like, this is a student showcase.
Yeah, right?
Like, what are you? And he's like, well, if you want your students in my, ballet, then I'm dancing it. And you're like, oh my God.
I'm with that old lady. I'm like, the drama. Keep going. I love it. Keep going, you ballerina. Yes.
Like, can you imagine me like, I am the student. I trained to be this because they have understudies. Injuries happen.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the understudies got fucked over in this.
Yeah, and the guy that got injured, they're like, you're still in, kid.
Yeah.
We love ya.
I do think that Eric and Eva have a really good scene together when she has been like cast as like barely anything in Peter Gallagher's ballet, and she's like, "Oh, it's fine, I don't care," and is clearly upset, and so he sort of has her come cuddle with him, and he's like, "It's hard, isn't it, not caring?" And I'm like, "This is really nice." I wish Eric had a character beyond gay guy, because that's all they give to him.
I think that's all they give to any character in this movie.
That's also
there
fair.
is nothing more than a singular layer on everyone. It's like my mom pushes me too hard, and now I have an eating disorder. Even Eva's
I am
character,
a Russian guy.
Yeah, I'm a Russian guy. Eva, I'm like, okay, why are you so angry though? Like, if we had been given some more context of like why she's coming in with this hot attitude, I would have a lot more, because like I like her, and like she's obviously one of the actual actors in this movie, where I'm like, although to be fair, she got some lines where I was like, nobody could have read that. Like, there's no way you can be like, what was the line? It was my favorite line where she's like, I'm dancing for me now. I was losing it. Anyway, nobody could have done that well. It's not her fault. Okay, it's not her fault. There's no way you could have said that with any kind of...
Poor Jodie having to say, I don't want to go to college. I just want to dance.
Yeah. I'm not perfect. I'm just me. Stop. Okay.
Well, you're in ballet, unfortunately, and you got to be better than that.
Like, every single person had like a singular thing about them, and then very little explanation outside as to why or what or how.
Well, and I'm also very confused about how this school works, because we see people auditioning in different cities, and they basically say they take 8 to 12 people in the world, and then they find out at the audition? Like, are they? Did the people who choose?
They're like, okay, so I picked 3, so fuck the rest of you.
Yeah. How does that work? Also, like, why are they bringing people? Like, and I don't know how ballet school works, so maybe it does work like this. Why are you bringing a bunch of people in for the last year of the ballet school before they get chosen? Doesn't everybody else who was there for many years already have an advantage over them?
Yeah, like I would think. Yeah, I think here's the thing. For everyone coming in the first year, it's like maybe it makes sense that they're in the student showcase, but that they're not going to be the ones that are getting like cast into the company from that. Like this is your experience, right? Like someone like Maureen, who's been there a couple years, I can understand like, okay, now you get the lead part and the focus is on you. But they definitely don't do that in this movie.
Yeah, it would make way more sense if these were like, hey, this is their first year at the school, first of many years. But they're like, no, you're just coming in for your this final year.
Yeah,
you better figure it out.
I don't get that either.
But then also, like, the start of the movie is the people watching Jodie, like, dance at the audition and say, like, her turnout's terrible, but look at her. She's so beautiful. And then she gets to the school and they're like, wow, she's really bad at dancing. I'm like, you knew this already.
Yeah.
You knew this, and then they're like, and also your body fucking sucks. And I'm like, you knew what she looked like. Like, you chose her. What did you think was going to happen? Did you? And like, maybe there's something for like, she is so beautiful that maybe we can improve her, and then she would be such a great face of the Academy, but that's never explained.
I would have preferred something other than she's so beautiful. Like, I would have preferred, like, yeah, like, her turnout's not great, but, like, have you seen her flair or, like, the passion or, like, something else where it's like, yeah, I think we can fix this small problem. The rest of it's looking so good.
Yeah. Well, and that's what that's kind of goes into my main defense of eyebrows here, right? Which is, like, basically, that's what he says to her when he pulls her into the office, was, like, you had this certain je ne sais quoi, this this untangible thing that we thought we could turn into something else. And the rest of you is just not progressing enough for that. And actually, it turns out you don't
really have that much of a je ne sais quoi.
And you kind of
je sais quoi, c'est mal.
Oh, I understand just enough French to get that.
Yeah, that's good.
That's perfect.
I like it.
That's right in the pocket there.
Yep.
And like that's a thing where it's like and as performers, where it's like sometimes there's just those magical moments or like a showcase or an audition that you just nail.
Yes.
Because you were just like. The right combination of like nerves and like preparedness or whatever, and then you were unprepared for it. That's unfortunately a reality of any sort of art or sport or whatever you want to call ballet, like at that or anything at that level is sometimes like the number one draft pick in most professional sports doesn't always go on to be the best player that year, right?
Look up Ryan Leaf, everybody. Oof.
Ryan Leaf?
That's a sports reference that I made, everyone. I'm so proud of myself.
I don't know what the...
Oh, Ryan Leaf was a football player where his dad, from birth, was training him to be like the greatest quarterback of all, or greatest, as a baby was like stretching his hamstring, like raised him, but like gave him no freedom, so that once he had freedom, he just fell the fuck apart and like had like legal troubles and did not do well in the NFL, and it was just a whole thing.
Oh wow, yeah,
I've dated people like that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing, like watching this movie, and we watched it together because we live together. Sorry. Sorry for the spoilers, everyone. Living in sin.
That's what I always say about you too.
Yeah. Which is like, I cannot imagine dedicating so much of your young life to pursuing a thing to try and be at the highest level of it. Like all your high school, you're like, nope, it's school and then dance, school and dance, and school and dance. I'm like dancing all the time, and this is the only thing I'm doing. And then like even a character says in this, like, and then we've got maybe 10 years tops. So like if they're in their early 20s, they're done by their 30s. I can't imagine living a life like that.
Oh, dude, no. Not even fucking close. The entire time I was watching this, I was just like, the love of my life is actually food. Like, it's just actually food. Yeah. And I could not, like, the sacrifices these people make and stuff like that. I'm like, there's nothing I love comedy. I love comedy so much, so much. If somebody told me you can't have a hamburger for the rest of your life if you want to do comedy, like, it'd take me a while. It'd be a real thinker. It'd be a thinker. I don't know. Okay.
Right?
My Christ. So yeah, making your whole
your whole
life.
personality too. Like that. Those are
Personality,
those formative
diet.
years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Where
Yeah.
Yeah, like in comedy, we're very lucky where we built up our personality over years, and now we're ruining our lives, right? Like we didn't ruin our lives and then have to come up with a personality after that. You know what I mean? Like that's what they're doing.
That is true. Oh, that's why they're saying things like, "I'm not perfect. I'm just me."
Yeah,
They haven't
I
had
just
any
want to dance
time
for
to
myself.
talk.
It's like, you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, and there is sort of an argument to be made of like how people can perform when you give them encouragement versus just criticism. But like, this is such a precise industry where you do have to be perfect. Like, no, you need to develop an ability to take the criticism and not take it personally and be able to incorporate it and still keep your like energy and passion for it. Whereas like Jodie's just like, everyone tells me, and I couldn't do it. If somebody even just was like, hey, turn your feet out a little bit more, I'd be like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah,
and I'd run out the door and quit forever. So I sympathize with Jodie, but like, she clearly is just like, no, everyone hates me and I'm never going to be a good ballerina. And then at the end, she's like, I'm just going to dance for me. And I'm like, when did this happen? Because literally right before she did the thing,
Yeah.
Cooper was like, you're not doing very well and you should be better. And she's like, fuck, I know, shut the fuck up. And then goes out and she's like, I love it. I love myself. Where did this come from? When did that happen?
Well, and again, Eyebrows makes this point where he goes, all of you were all the best dancers in all your classes. Like you can talk about like, oh, there's criticism versus encouragement, but they are now operating at a very high level.
Yeah.
This is not intro to dance with a bunch of 6-year-olds, right? This is like this is not the first criticism you've had. This is not the first coaching you've had. You have all been coached and achieved very high levels, like top 12 in the nation at least.
Yeah.
Like that's elite. So of course they don't have time to be like, well, should we encourage or do this? Like just as the one teacher says, I'm going to teach my class like I fucking see fit. Like get out. Don't call me on. Oh, she heard you. Fuck off.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, she didn't because she's still doing it.
Yes.
You know?
And I'm tired of telling her.
Right, yeah.
I'm tired. It's every day.
Yeah.
It's every class.
If she physically cannot, then sorry, she shouldn't be there.
She shouldn't be here. She shouldn't be here. It's nuts.
I also love the implication because Cooper calls his ballet like ballet for the people. And I'm like, so bad? Like, so people who aren't good at ballet are dancing in your ballet?
for the people.
Well, I assumed for the people meant the audience is like the people. Like instead of the rich elites, it's
Yes,
like
that's what I meant is that
Oh.
like so he casts Jodie, who isn't actually a very good ballet
sorry,
dancer.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so bad ballet
Bad
is the
ballet is for the people.
Yeah, fair enough.
I also just wanted to bring up how cute it was to watch this movie with Craig. Because when Maureen first goes to throw up her food, Craig just goes, "Oh no, Maureen." Which was so sweet. I immediately had to text Jocelyn, my podcast co-host, that had happened, and she's like, "Aw, Craig." Second, Craig's mild face blindness was hilarious because there was two blonde people in this movie, and he could not two blonde girls, and he could not tell them apart.
In my defense, we started this podcast by saying how one-dimensional, indistinguishable everybody is.
Yes.
But like in one.
They're all skinny white blonde ballet dancers.
In one scene, Jodie just puts her hair in two braids, and he goes, "Who is that?" And I was like, "That's Jodie. That's the main character of the film."
That's so awesome.
Okay, and
Does that not bring your heart a little joy, though, Kat? It must.
Immediately, he's like, "But there's anher blonde one, right?" I'm like,
Yes,
she's not
I
really.
would love
but
if
they had
my
just
man-
introduced this wild card rogue other blonde character who has like one line,
I don't
and I
even
was
know
like,
her name.
No, and I was like, oh, I guess she's going to be important now. And then there was like the next scene, and Jodie's kind of faced away from camera with like braids in, and I was like, wait, is that like just context clues?
No.
You're like, that's the same character because we just talked to her.
I love that you can't tell hot bitches apart. That just makes me. It would, yes. I feel like that would just make my heart sore. I love that. No, please don't change a thing. Okay, continue on.
Fair enough.
Continue on as your perfect self, Craig.
I couldn't tell a lot of the guys at the party. I was like, wait, that one's Cooper, right?
Yes.
Like, it's like there's just certain movies where I'm just like, no, all these people were cast too similar.
Yeah.
just saying.
Well,
was
listen,
very adorable.
to be fair, they're all very thin. They
Yeah.
all very much have the same ballerina body type.
Yeah, and also, like, I understand that it's just part of, like, they want to hire actual ballet dancers for this so they can do the thing. But then being like, well, Jodie doesn't have the right body type. I'm like, she clearly does because the actress is a ballet dancer.
Yes, like
She's doing fine.
she's okay at this.
and
for
also,
sure.
do you realize that teenage girls are going to watch this movie and it's kind of fuck with them a little bit?
Oh yeah,
Like, even if it's realistic for this movie,
Yep.
teenage girls maybe don't need to see that part.
yeah, that one girl getting kicked out, and I do like the mother was like, "You're perfect just the way you are. These people
yeah.
are assholes."
I think the movie really does try to pull back from Peter Gallagher having to say anything really, really bad because they keep saying like other people will say, he told me I don't have the right body type. He told me I don't take pride in my body. We never see him say anything like this.
Yeah.
He just says like, you're very pretty, but you're not doing very well. That's like, he's like, maybe you should figure out what your next step is because I can't put you in the thing, which really isn't that bad. And then later on people are like, he told me I was a disgusting pig. And I'm like, oh, this guy, oh shit.
What happens when the cameras are out of the room? Good lord.
And like, I don't know if that's Peter Gallagher being like, going through the script being like, not saying that, not saying that. And then being like, I guess we'll give that to somebody else and just say that they heard him say it.
Well, and Eva has this line where she goes, he was really nice about it. It's like, and she goes, well, even when people say shitty, what is it?
Pricky things?
Pricky things in a nice way, that's even prickier. And I was like, absolutely it is not. That is not true. When people say pricky things in a nice way, they are trying to soften the blow.
Yeah.
They're, and like, especially when it's your job to give criticism
And deliver
you're-
bad news.
And deliver bad
Yeah.
news. And you're like, and it's a double-edged sword because he gets to tell people like, congratulations, you're into the conservatory or whatever. And he also has to tell people like, you washed out, you didn't make it. I'm sorry. Like, it's a double-edged sword for him. So like, yeah, that's like probably the worst part of his job is being like, you're not improving like we need you to. You can't, or you just like, let's not forget, this is like a sport, right? This is like a physical thing. And it's like, you are not physically capable of doing this anymore. That's a problem.
Oh yeah.
And not,
I just have problem with body type. That's
Oh, yeah.
where I draw. Where I'm like, okay, I can't understand that at all. Like I understand like. Just like, oh, you need your hips to be able to be open, and there's certain like dance things that you need to do. But like, as far as like the lines go and stuff like that, I'm like, wouldn't it be better if I was like a little fitter? Like, wouldn't that just be better if I had some muscle on me and a bit of tone and like,
Yeah. I mean, this is also 2000. Like we're maybe like a year away from those low cut jeans where like all of your pubes are on
Sweet
display.
baby Jesus. Dude, I went back
the
and
salad
watched
bar
like,
of pubes.
Yeah.
I went back and watched. Did you ever watch Popular?
Yes.
Okay, I went back and watched like a couple of episodes of Popular, and I was like, I don't know how any of us made it out alive.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how we made it out alive. I mean, the first scene in that is like, there's like 2 calories in each grape, and I had 6. And it's like, what are we talking about? What's happening?
Yeah, go back and look up Kim Kardashian's Jasmine Halloween costume from the 2000s and just how low cut that is. And I'm like, girl, your ass must be out in the back.
I can't.
It was a
It's
rough
too much.
time. Yeah.
Early
It was a rough time.
2000s. What a hellscape. What a hellscape. Craig, any thoughts?
Any thoughts on body image for teenage girls in the year 2000?
Listen,
Yeah.
guys, it was the year 2000. Limp Bizkit was top of the charts. We were all wearing red New York Yankees. Thanks. Our boxers were out.
Yeah.
Our wide leg jeans were worn around our I guess our thighs. I guess at that point, it was a bad time for everybody.
Can we talk? So in the middle of this movie, Jodie just like wants to dance and feel good about it, so she goes and takes like just a regular dance class that Cooper also ends up taking. And all I could think was that from the dance that we see them do, did she just show up and go like, "Do you have like a 5:30 gyrating and humping class?"
Yeah. I just want to thrust a lot.
I just want to thrust a lot.
Well, that'll get your hips open, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I mean, people were sweating. They're getting there.
They were sweating.
And you know what? I'm going to say it. Usable strength.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to thrust hips sometimes. You know what I mean?
See the backside of
go ahead.
Cooper.
Do a fucking do a squat with a barbell. Who the fuck cares? When are you lifting?
It's called a plie.
No, I mean like. I'm talking practical strength. So thrust your hips. Don't lift weights. You know. That's anyway. I don't know.
But it's just supposed to show like the difference because that teacher's just like, I don't care about the steps. Just dance the shit out of it. I'm like,
because this is like jazzercise.
Yeah.
Of course you don't care. Who fucking cares?
Although I do love the like, it's just you can hop in the class whenever, but everybody knows the choreography. Here's the
you
thing.
better already be good at dance to join this class.
And that doesn't even bother me. That's like a dance movie trope where you're just like, yeah.
Yes.
Like we want to see a good dance here, not an intro to like, come on, everybody join in. It's fine. And watch someone like me just try and fucking 1-2 step it through. Like, you don't want to see that. No, it's like, oh, and we're going to the club and everybody knows the dance. So I was like, this is a dance movie. Full license to do that.
Oh, allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, she's all that, allowed. Let's have it. Okay,
Yeah.
I want all the dance sequences, especially when there hasn't been one yet. That's my favorite. Although, obviously, in this one, there's been a lot. But yes.
So many
dances. So much like, oh, we're gonna be free and go dance salsa. This is so good. I loved this movie.
I love it so
much.
Yeah.
And I stopped watching it for a very long time. And this rewatch, oh my God, laughing through the whole thing. Joy.
For sure.
Why? Where is it? Where does this limousine come from? There's just questions on
Wait,
questions.
there's a limousine?
Yeah, when they
Yes.
go out for one of their birthdays, they go out in a limo.
Like, there's
Oh.
just things happening that I'm like, oh, yeah, I think you need to be a teen to not question any of this.
If they are still, if this is like high school, do they take actual classes at any point? Do they
this
know
is
math?
why I don't think it's high school.
Okay.
I'm like, they don't take any other classes. Like, you never see them taking any other classes. All they care about is dance.
Yeah.
They go drinking, which again they could have just got in because they're young and hot for
Yeah.
sure. Valid point, but I'm like, you have to be at least at the very minimum 18.
At the very least, they are. I would say they're 18.
Yeah,
but
because
like
I was like, oh no, you're smart. You could go to college.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
yeah.
it's so unclear and so much, and like I said, like that final number has like costume changes that couldn't possibly happen, set changes that like they do things where like the camera angle changes and they treat it like it's a movie, like a musical number in a movie rather than we're watching a performance, which doesn't like suddenly Jodie's wearing an entirely different outfit and her hair is different and she has new makeup on. And you're like, what are you talking about? This is happening live.
She was out of the shot for 2 seconds.
And was able to do little braids in her hair.
Yes,
Yeah.
whilst on stage.
Yeah. And I watched that. I was like, oh yeah, that's unrealistic. And then I thought, somebody actually choreographed this movie and choreographed it quite well, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
And they go, I could do a stage, something that could actually happen on stage, or I could take advantage of the fact that I'm actually filming a movie and do what I want to do. And I'm also kind of like, yeah.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing.
Let's magic of movies. Great.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. What I do find confusing is that they do an actual very cool like costume change for her where her ballet costume is sort of like peeled away from her and she's wearing another one underneath.
Yeah.
And then they're like, nope. And then the camera angle changes and she's wearing another entirely new outfit. And I'm like,
baby.
okay, so you could have done it.
Movie
I'm not
magic.
mad. I do like it.
Or alternatively, they have act breaks in this, in what is
In this-
clearly supposed to be a 5-minute student showcase.
Intermission after 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
We'll be back here in 15.
It was a lot.
Yeah. The one, I do want to loop back to Cooper for a second.
Of course.
Like, there is one thing where I was like, he's acting cold to Jodie. This is after they sleep together because Jodie shows up to one of the performances that he's
Inappropriate.
doing.
Yeah.
Inappropriate.
He literally comes off stage. We see him sweating profuse. This guy is giving it. He's leaving it all on stage. And he sees her in the wings of his production. He's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, well, I just thought I'd come and see you. He's like, okay. And like immediately has to go back out and do like another, like he's not even done.
Yeah.
He's just walking off, like basically has enough time to like maybe drink some water and get back on stage. And she's like, I'm bucking. It's like, I'm at work. I'm at work
and
right
you're
now.
also in the way. Everyone's trying to get around you.
Don't stand in the wings.
No. Oh my God. Like,
did you know the speed at which they're coming off stage sometimes? I don't, but it's going to be fast sometimes.
this movie really has the opinion of it is romantic to show up to a place and wait around. Because like the soon-to-be doctor does that as well. He's like, I've been calling. I'm trying to get to you. And I'm like, and I do like that man. And I like that he's like, please don't throw up. That's bad. Please don't do that.
I love you for who you are.
Yes, and I love you for who you are. And please don't do that. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, I do think he's a nice, again, one-dimensional character. But this movie really has the opinion of like, oh, you're really into somebody? Just show up. See what happens.
Yeah.
I also wish we got a better idea of why Maureen doesn't like ballet. Because at the end, she's like, I just happen to be good at it, but I don't like it and I don't have the passion for it. And it is, and like, obviously it is contributing to her eating disorder. But she kind of says like, that's kind of just a symptom of me not liking ballet. But I never get the sense that she doesn't like it. She's just very sick.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. It's like, and I was really glad that it was a specific line in this movie, which is there is a difference between doing what you should be doing and something that you do well. And I think, like, especially if you're young, it's very easy to get caught up in that.
100%.
Where you go, like, I guess I'm supposed to do this because I can do it at a very high level.
And my mom said, like, is really, that, and just a little bit more of showing that she actually doesn't enjoy it. Because, like, the times we've seen her talk to her mom about it, she's actually, like, getting into gossiping about how much everyone else sucks a little bit.
But that's also because that's her entire world.
100%. I just wanted just a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
I think everybody could have been given a little bit more for sure.
Yeah, and to that point, like finding something that she does love and being like, oh, this is how you're supposed to feel about things.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, having that like, and him being a good like intro to that. Like, I'm going to show you a different world that maybe you're not used to, and it's gonna like start connecting things in your brain.
I mean,
but you're right,
I do like that it doesn't, like, the movie doesn't end with her being like, actually, I found it and it's pottery. Like, it's like, I like that she's like, I don't know what I like because I've been doing what my mom wants me to do this whole time, and so I guess we'll find out. And it's very open ended for her, and I like that.
And legitimately, it could even be like, actually, you know what? I really like going out, getting drunk, and meeting boys. like I'm
Hell yeah!
But like that,
the Rebecca Reed special.
Welcome to my university experience, everybody.
But no, like I'm quite serious about that. Even that can be like this is what I'm giving up to do this. Like this is reckless and this is fun and this is like short term and this doesn't lead to anything. But I'm having fun and I'm not having fun doing something else.
Well, in high school, like there was a while where I really was into the clarinet and was like, maybe I could go to Juilliard. And my parents said, if you want to go to Juilliard, you're going to have to be practicing like 4 to 6 hours a day. Yep. And I went, oh, then never mind. And I was like, I don't like it enough to do that.
No, totally. And if it shapes your whole life, like when she's talking about how she's like, it's not even, she's like, I'm sick, but also I don't have any friends, really. Like, she kind of started to integrate into this friend group, but like, she's like, this makes me so miserable and it's so bad for my mental health that I'm literally like repelling people around me. Okay, I'm getting them to fuck off. I can't. Okay, I need to have friends. I'm young. I need to have friends. I need to live. Also, like, this kind of sounds like when she's talking about, oh, you know, I have 10, maybe 15 years max at this.
If I don't hurt myself.
Yes, it just kind of sounds like, oh, you're a roofer. Okay, like you're just sacrificing your body every single day as hard as you can, and then one day you can't.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched a video of like just the ballet shoes that they have to break in. And like literally one pair of shoes is basically good for like one day of practice.
No, you have to do it every day.
Every day you have to like, and they're like ripping them up, they're like,
The amount of money spent on this it's astronomical.
Yeah.
It's astronomical.
Bonkers. It's bonkers to me. And that's just their shoes, like their feet. They're poor bodies.
I say shut it all down, quite frankly. Shut it all down.
Well, and the thing about ballet, which is incredible to me, is like it's obviously like it's one of those things where it's like what they are doing is nearly superhuman. Like it's somebody operating at a level that is so high above what anybody at this table could do, right? Like
Speak for yourself.
yeah.
Okay.
No, but it's
Got
like
canned heat in my heels.
but it's like it's superhuman. It's sort of pushed to the extreme of what humans can do, which is always so amazing and entertaining. And I don't give a shit about it at all. Like people are ruining their lives for this aesthetic and to be able to like go up on their tippy toes. And I would watch it, and as the plebe I am, I'd just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I like fully unaffected by it, and I feel guilty about that. I wish I was like, ballet is beautiful. Ballet, like these are the athletes. Look at the dedication, and then I just go, I don't know. It's kind of boring.
So funny.
You know, like that's the sad truth about it, where you're just like the immense talent and dedication that's in there, and it just falls on deaf ears for large portions of the population.
What if it was a ballet for the people and Jamiroquai was playing?
I mean, I'd probably go see it.
And there were people doing ballet walking in the background, pretending to go on the subway.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's sign me up.
Listen, I'd go see anything for free. If it's free, I'll go, man. That's my rule. I'm like, somebody gives me a ticket to something. If it's free, I'll go check it out. I'd go watch somebody dip their lips into Lake Ontario if I was like, that free tickets.
Who is giving away tickets that are free to this public area that anybody can go to?
Which lips?
You knew which ones I was talking about. You knew the answer to that question before it even left your lips.
I was gonna ask, and then I was like, "That's too gross of a question." And I love my fiance for doing this.
No, I've been slowly corrupting him on this.
That's the sacrifice I make on this podcast. I ask the questions no one else has the balls to. The people will want to know, and they'll be like, "Thank you, Craig, for your sacrifice there."
Yeah. At least, I'm glad you asked it, so you didn't get a creepy question in the comments later on.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, they know. The people that listen to this podcast know exactly where they don't need to ask. They're like, of course that's what she meant. Of course.
Yeah. Some people are like, I'm a huge Rebecca Reeds fan, and honestly, I forgot we had lips on our faces. All right.
Yeah, oh boy. Oh boy.
I did not expect Center Stage to end here.
Listen, I think it matches tone.
It does.
I have no idea. What is the tone of this movie? Being a young teen is hard.
Yeah.
If you feel that if you really enjoy doing something, you should feel entitled to being the lead of it.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Where she's just like, well, if you tell me I'm going to be in the American Ballet Association, then I won't be able to say no, and then I'll just waste my best years in the background. And I'm like, waste? That's as good as you might be. And she's like, and I deserve to be the prima ballerina in this guy's company. Do you? You 18-year-old weirdo?
Also, there is a level of entitlement where you have showcased for something, and they are bringing you in to give you criticism and feedback, and these are professionals. These,
Yeah.
And you go, actually, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to know, because not everything that they're saying is like you got in or you didn't get in. Like it's going to be like, hey, yeah, you were off the music here and here, and we've been working on that turnout and it came out well on the show, so good for you for that. Yeah. Or hey, this happened. It's always different for a performance than it is in person. Like you need the experience doing that. There's that level of criticism, and for her just to walk in there and be like, and I don't need to hear anything you say, it's so arrogant and so insulting to the amount of time that these people have put into you. Here's the thing: none of the teachers give up on her. As soon as they have that talk, it's not like everyone's like, well, I don't want to waste my time teaching this girl. They're like, no, we're still going to try and get you there. And I'm going to even say they probably give her a disproportionate amount of instruction compared to, say, Eva, who is naturally talented.
For sure.
Absolutely. And just in a final statement, what a terrible decision to go with the new company.
Well,
that's a terrible decision.
I could just hear my parents, the number of times they've said to me, they're like, do not quit your current job until you have the new job's contract, like job offer in front of you.
Yeah. Lock it in.
Like, don't just have Cooper be like, I'm going to put you in my ballet. And she's being like, I guess I have a job. No, you don't. You need get the contract signed.
You've had sex with this man. You've had sex with this man. And then he was like, oh, you're going to join the company? So I guess we're together. And you're like, no dice. And
it's like, he could immediately just be like, oh, okay, then I guess you're not going to be in my thing.
I'm clearly that fickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that is not a man that I want to work with in any capacity.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Jodie's great in that performance, and I get that she's feeling really good. And like, yes, I finally showed that like Margot Fontaine, like maybe I don't have great feet, but I've got that je ne sais quoi.
Yep.
But I'm like, that was one dance, girl.
Yeah. You're gonna need to do a few more, a couple more.
Yeah.
Okay. And apparently you weren't good up until this very moment.
That one moment.
So I don't know about that.
I mean, knowing when to peak is a skill on its own. If I can time this peak for when it really matters, and clearly she can.
That's so funny. Yes. She does know.
I got into the school. I got a job offer. I'm just going to be
prima ballerina.
I'm going to be
Time to give it the
mediocre through
juice.
this, and I just
Show them what I got.
she hits the nitrous, you know,
Yeah.
the right time to make a very connected and relevant Fast and Furious reference to Sanderson.
I can barely tell those movies apart.
It's all about family.
This movie also apparently has a couple of sequels. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't watched any of them.
They're not. I have not seen them because they look real bad.
Well,
like
I think if we're starting here, they can't get better. Like, you know what I mean?
You're right, though. That does seem like this is going to be a pretty cheap movie to do direct to DVD in the early 2000s.
yeah.
Well, no. It took a while for the second one to come out, and it's like Peter Gallagher and Cooper are there as like teachers, and I don't think any of the others are even really mentioned.
Oh, yeah,
it's
that
just
makes sense.
it's kind of like a step up to the streets, like where they're just like now new people are dancing.
Yeah.
We got the IP.
Yeah.
It's a dance movie. You know what you signed up for.
Like, oh, there's a cameo from Channing Tatum, and then he's gone, and now it's about two people.
Yeah. Are we wrap
it up.
We're ready to rank the villain?
Yeah,
or villains?
absolutely.
What's your scale, Craig?
Yeah, so I've got it's a dance scale, obviously. Right. So I guess things that you traditionally dance to. So on a scale from the chicken dance to the nutcracker, I'm going to give Jonathan Reeves, Mr. Eyebrows, a Robin dancing on my own. Because there's a bunch of drama going on here, and he's just over there trying his best to ignore it.
Amazing. What do you got, Kat?
I have the eyebrows scale.
Oh, perfection.
Beautiful.
Perfection.
On a scale from Drew Barrymore's eyebrows in the 90s to Groucho Marx.
Okay,
Oh,
yes.
I give Jonathan Reeves a Brooke Shields.
Hey, okay.
Love it. I'm trying to picture all of those right now. As
Very
established-
thin, very bushy, then very
As
thick.
established,
Pretty
face
thick.
blindness.
Okay, so my scale is things I wouldn't want to put my foot in. So from ballet slippers to anything on Zendaya's feet at any given time. Girl, you're rocking it, and I don't know how. I am going to give the head of the Ballet Academy,
Jonathan Reeves.
Jonathan Reeves, I am going to give him a right up Trump's ass. Okay, it's dirty work, but somebody's got to do it. 51st state, my ass.
Yeah.
Anyway, team, before we get to our heroes and villains of the week, as always, there's a couple ways you can help out the podcast. If you would like to contact us, if you want to get involved, if you want to see our beautiful little faces, you can follow us on TikTok, on Instagram at Villain Was Right. We're also on Facebook. And if you would like to get in touch with us directly, you can email us at villainwasright@gmail.com. Send in your suggestions. This was a suggestion, even though it is very much a cat coded. We needed to have her in.
Kat saw it and was like, that one's
one. That one's mine. This was an audience suggestion, so please keep those rolling in. And if you got a couple of bucks,
Yeah, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/thevillainwasright, where if you support the podcast, you get some amazing benefits in return. Our top tier, $7 a month, gets you 2 bonus episodes every month. So for the month of January, my pick was The Nice Guys, and Rebecca picked the 1997 superhero movie Spawn.
Yes!
Rebecca usually picks something with like the worst CGI you've ever seen in your life. If that's the case.
And
So
we held it.
if you want to hear us talk about movies like that or movies where the villain wasn't quite right, patreon.com/thevillainwasright as well. There's also tiers for early releases of ad-free episodes, voting on our audience choice. So thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon already. Thank you to everybody who listens and tells your friends. That really helps us out. Thank you to everyone who's left a review of the podcast on Apple Podcasts or whatever service you use. And now it is time for our heroes and villains of the week. I've got a little bit of a villain this week, and I'm telling this story because all parties involved are here right now, which is like a couple months ago. Rebecca basically was like, I'm going to give you spare keys to my place because I had to let some people in. And she's like, just keep them because we live close enough together that like.
And I'm a mess.
That if something happens.
I'll probably need this.
And yeah, it's like, whatever. And I was like, yeah, great. Like, I'm the responsible friend. I live in the neighborhood. That's all great. And she's like, here it is. It's like, it's on a keychain for you. It's got a big rhinestone R, like for
so
Rebecca.
You know what it is.
RR Rebecca reads. You know what it is. And I took it. And I was like, yep, no problem. And I put it on the table in our like front room there by the door. And I was like, I know exactly where it is. Like I just encyclopedia it. I know exactly where this is. And then we had like right before Christmas, we had some clean. This was before, but like sometime in November, whatever. We had
our house was. We got people to deep clean our house.
Nice.
Yeah. So they went through everything, like scrubbing the tiles between the, everything. And then I'm leaving the house at one point and I look and the key isn't where it was. And I was like, oh, where did that go? And I'm looking around and I'm like looking behind the counter and I'm looking like in bags and I'm looking in like, did I bring it up here and do this, like any thought. And I was just like, it's gone. I'm like, Kat, have you seen this? It was like right there forever. And she's like, no, I don't know where this would go. I'm like looking in drawers thinking that it had been like, knocked off the back of the cabinet and somehow gotten in the back of the drawer. And I was just like, it's gone. It's like, I've got to tell Rebecca that I lost her house key. And like, of all the people who are going to understand losing a key, it's Rebecca. But also, I'm just like, no, but that's not my role in this relationship. Like Rebecca loses.
The key keeper, not the key loser.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, and I was just like, the fact that it's Rebecca's key is like, it got me a little bit. And I was like, but I can't just not know where the key is and let her go on like that. So like, I'm getting ready to do it. And then all of a sudden, Kat comes home and she goes, oh, I found the key. It was in my purse.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I have like this thing on my from my day job. I have this thing that like lets me log into things through work just for security, but it's like a little magnetic, and I guess it just like
so funny.
I guess like it just caught your key and I put it in my purse.
with the keys.
Yeah. It's the thing where like sometimes I pull it out and like a quarter comes out and it goes flying. Like, and
that's why there's always quarters on our front step.
Yeah, that's why.
We're solving mysteries in real time. I love that.
So like without realizing it, I just like picked up my keys and put also your keys and put it in my purse.
So great.
Anyway, yeah, mystery solved. But I was like, oh, I don't want to be that guy who tells Rebecca I lost her keys.
So funny. I would love that. That would actually be a great day for me, to be honest with you. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice for it not to be me for once.
Yeah,
that would be lovely.
Fair enough. Anyway, that's my villain of the week. I guess my villain is I've just learned it's Kat's magnets.
Magnets, how do they work?
I don't know. Well, you see. No, I'm not gonna. What do you got for us, Kat?
My villain of this week is my ADHD. And it's a villain in many different ways, but it's going to talk about a specific way, which is that taking a shower for me is like a real just endeavor because my brain separates each step into like its own huge task. And it's just like, you have to do so many things to take a shower. And for a long time, Craig had long ago bought me like a waterproof speaker in there so I could listen to music. But like even that, like even if I listen to a podcast, I'm like, oh, I'm so bored in here. Like I have to take a shower and I'm like, oh, it's just like there's nothing interesting about it. And like I'm listening to this. And then I recently like a hairdresser basically was like, your hair's pretty dry. You should try like some deep conditioning. So I got like a deep conditioner and it was like, you should leave this in for 10 minutes. And I was like, just 10 minutes? I have to sit in the shower just for 10 minutes not doing anything? And so I do have this thing in the shower that lets me bring my phone in and it's waterproof and I can watch TikTok on my phone.
Okay.
I'm very aware this is so that most people can watch porn in the shower, but I am purely using it to watch TikTok to keep myself interested.
My mind didn't even go there. That's so funny. Okay, that's what that's for. All right.
But I literally watch it to use TikTok to keep the dopamine up so I'm not like, God, this sucks. And even with that, standing for 10 minutes, watching entertaining TikToks in the shower, I was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life that I can't do anything for 10 minutes while this thing goes on my hair. This is how my ADHD manifests in my brain. So I hate that my ADHD makes me hate like the process of taking a shower and that I can't just stand for 10 minutes watching fun videos without being like, I'm so bored.
Can I throw something at you?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried just washing your hair in the sink?
I have, but
because most of the time when it's like a leave-in, that's what I'll do. I'll just wash because I'm like, I'm not going to be in a shower for that long.
Yeah.
Like I just can't stand around for 10 minutes. Yeah. So I just literally do it outside. I go, okay. And then once that's done, that's when I go shower. Because then I just rinse it off and then I do my body and then I'm done. Anyway, just a thought.
That's so interesting. I don't think I've ever had a shower under 10 minutes.
Yeah, Craig is in there for like half an hour.
I stand and I go comatose and I just like...
No.
Oh, it's the
anyway,
best.
But I also came from like a household where like my mom always washes her hair in the sink. Anyway, but also another solution is to watch TikToks in your waterproof thing. I like that as well. Hacking the system. You just got to hack yourself. You know what I mean? I'm all about a hack. Okay, I just walk around thinking like, okay, if I answer 3 emails, then I get to go up and do this thing now because sending an email makes me want to peel all my own skin off.
See, my problem with like setting things like that, which is that like I know who set the rules and she's full of shit.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, if you do this, then you can have a snack. I can just have a snack right now and not do the things I don't want to do.
You can't tell me what to do. My own brain.
Yeah. Who the fuck do you think you are? Me? Well, you are. So shut up.
Oh yeah. No, I've definitely had that conversation with myself as well. I'm like, oh no, I'll just skip to the good thing. Actually, fuck that other thing. Oh yeah, you gotta catch me on a good day. Anyway, so we're all villains. My villain, and I like that it is all loosely ourselves as well, which is funny. Because my villain is I told myself I was gonna do Try January and almost immediately buckled. Immediately buckled, dude. And you know what it is? You know what? I'm gonna loop this into our whole conversation. The second I tell myself I'm not allowed to do something, it's the only thing I want to fucking do. I'll tell you, if I didn't put restrictions on myself, I could probably easily go a long time without drinking, but because I'm like, you're not allowed. You can't do it. If you do it, it makes you a bad person. Then I'm like, well, then I'm a goblin, bitch. Okay, guess what? Welcome to it. Okay, because I didn't even just like have a beer and called it a night and was like, oh, so funny. I just fell off. No, I was out until 6 a.m. Dancing in a stranger's apartment and we were all wearing different wigs. Okay, like that's how big it got. Okay, out of fucking control. Okay.
6 a.m. wig drunk is a very particular.
Bro.
You don't get there in one step.
My God. That's unbecoming. Okay, it was insane. And that was dry January for me. 6 a.m. wigs, baby.
6 a.m. wigs.
6 a.m. wigs. Anyway, so I am wholly the villain. Okay,
I'm just
of my tale.
imagining that episode of The Simpsons that John Waters is on when Homer comes downstairs and Bart's wearing like the big bouffant wig and like dancing
Oh
around.
yeah. It's very, very similar vibes. Like the person's roommate was asleep and woke up and joined us. Like it was a whole thing, man.
Did you see that the song that Jane Wickline sang on SNL about like I'm a +1 of somebody who already left and like she's still at the party and the party's being shut down?
No, oh no, that's me. That's so me. Oh, I gotta watch that. I was watching a TikTok the other day and somebody was saying, you know, that you have the energy of like that friend that something's always happening to. And I was like, is that a brand of friend? Because I'm pretty sure I'm that person. Oh no, I am the person that everything happens to at all times. Why? Why is that a brand of person?
I went through that for a while to the point that my friend called it Cat TV. and he's like, please tell me what happened on the latest episode of Cat TV. And then I met Craig and he's like, I'm so glad you met Craig, but man, I miss Cat TV so much.
No, that's good. That's good. You need that. Okay.
Or he'd be like, what? He's like, what's going on? I was like, Craig's wonderful and we're having a really good time. And he's like, oh
no.
The shower curtain won't stay up. Shower curtain.
No, you need a balloon and somebody good at holding onto a balloon. Okay, that's what you need in a relationship. And I am a balloon bitch. Okay, we are float down in space. Yeah. Anyway, that does it for us here at The Villain Was Right. Kat, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Instagram or Blue Sky at Kat Angus. You can listen to the podcast that I host with my good friend Jocelyn Getty.
Yes.
It's called I Hate It But I Love It.
Fantastic.
Where we talk, both of you have been on multiple times. And we talk about the pop culture we love and hate simultaneously. I'm also the managing editor of the Wealthsimple newsletter called TLDR, which is all about money, which you can find at wealthsimple.com/TLDR.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, and you can follow me at Craig Faye Comedy on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, craigfaye.com for show dates, but you know what? You missed most of them. They were all in January. Sorry, guys.
And you can follow me at Rebecca Reads on any platform of your choosing. Check us out next week for another episode where we argue for the villains. And this is The Villain Was Right, reminding you this fucking play is about us.
The Villain Was Right was produced by Andrew Ivimey for the From Superheroes Network. For more great podcasts like this, as well as YouTube series, webcomics, and so much more, visit FromSuperheroes.com.